Tuesday's Sims 4 base game update actually was done in 2 updates and brought a new major bug. Hello, my name is Jennifer and welcome to my Sims 4 news video. So we're going to talk about the 2 updates, what's newly broken, including that major issue, what was new with the update, what was fixed, and the mod impact, and some basic troubleshooting things just as a reminder. So first off, there were 2 updates. If you updated immediately, then you would have seen the second update and had to update later. If you didn't update immediately and went in, later on in the day, you would have got both those updates as one update. But in case you had heard there were 2 updates, that was what it was. There are no patch notes for that second update, and actually the patch notes still show the original version numbers that it was going to be before they did the second update. So as I said, we got a major bug with Tuesday's update, and it has to do with parenthood character value menus. So it affects toddlers through teens because they are the ones who have that so that they can work on it. Of course, this is not an issue if you don't have parenthood. So what is happening is that you're getting major flashing on the UI of that. And also it is causing crashing for some people, or it's causing the game to freeze. So you have to force quit it and just messing up the UI in general. There were also UI mods that broke. So if you use mods, you also have to consider that. But this is an issue in of itself. And EA has been monitoring it and looking into it, and they actually had hoped that original second update had fixed it, but it didn't. This is not actually a solution, it's just to make it so it's visible. They've identified the issue with it, and they're investigating the root cause at the moment, and so they're going to have any further updates in the thread, but I hadn't seen any when I was recording this, so I'm hoping that we're going to get another update soon so that it can resolve this. I haven't experienced it myself because I had seen this was an issue, so I am not playing with toddlers through teens just to make sure I avoid it. So if you're experiencing this, I would recommend you just don't play with toddlers through teens, and also go over and add a Me Too to the bug report, and hopefully they'll have an update. Hopefully they'll have a fix so they can have an update soon. So the next issue is that played Sims are being mean to each other autonomously, and this is after the latest update. There was already an existing issue that some people were experiencing, but this is its own bug report just because it seems to be more prevalent now with the update. As you can see, there were 38 people who have already Me Too'd that at the time. I hadn't experienced it myself, but that's still quite a few for such a short time period. And then the new eyelashes are incompatible with certain of the eye presets. So essentially, if there were eye presets that have the blocky built-in lashes, they're not gone. They're still there. And so then you have the new lashes with them. They kind of need to be removed because you just see the 2 together and it doesn't really look very good. Some signed fishing spots are not working. I think this may be only in Sulani, because I know when I tested it, I couldn't get my Sims to fish at the fishing spot signs in Sulani. Instead, they would go on to, there was a sailboat nearby, so they swam over there and fished on there because it's working there. But when I took them to Oasis Spring, they could fish at the fishing sign there. So I don't know if it's something that's affecting other worlds or if it is only Sulani. There are a few other issues, but those are the ones that sort of caught my eye, so I'm sharing that here. If you're having any other issues, I suggest you go over to EA Answer Headquarters. I will be linking to everything down below so you can find stuff over there. So what's new and what's fixed? Well, we're going to start with what's new. And of course, we knew about a lot of it already. Of course, we got like the romantic boundaries that were set up. And we have got the ability to hide relationships and some gender neutral relationship names, so husband, wife, is spouse, etc. And also we have the ability to set partner status, i.e. boyfriend, girlfriend, in Create a Sim when you're setting them up. And of course we've got those eyelashes, the ability to apply to all outfits button. One thing they did comment here is that currently the apply all button adds the selected item to your Sim's outfits. Does not remove outfit pieces. So if you say want to take something off, like say they came with makeup on when they aged up and you don't want makeup on them, You can't take the makeup off and then apply it across all the ages, all the categories. It doesn't do that. But it does seem like they're hoping to do it because they're saying currently versus, that it doesn't. So hopefully they add that, because I'm sure there's other things where it would be good if they would do that. And they're looking for feedback on it too. So we also got those updated hairstyles. There were the two there. One is for females, one is for males, and then this one is also for males, which was part of the Dark and Lovely hairstyle partnership. And then we got those French tip coffin nails and neutral palettes. I don't use nails in my game very much, so I couldn't actually recognize them. We also have the ability for the curved pools and curved fountains. And then in live mode, there's a new relationship interaction category so that you're asked to join household or become best friends is there. We have that safe music streaming where you can toggle, and then also the option for neighborhood stories has been expanded to include a couple of new categories, and the conversation panel in the game has changed so you can see sentiments from there. So now we have the actual bug fixes, and in general, it looked like there were more bug fixes than were actually on the laundry list, but I didn't do a one-for-one comparison because there was so many. The main things that I remembered being on the laundry list seemed to be hair. So you have the top fixes at the beginning, including that top one there about the toddlers now receiving top-notch and happy reward traits. Now that does not seem to be retroactive. So if you have a toddler who is already ready to receive the top-notch or the happy toddler reward trait, i.e. top-notch requires them to be level 5 of the 4 fundamental, and happy requires them to be level 3 of those 4 fundamental. Potty skill is not required for either of them. So the fundamental are the other ones. So if they were already ready to receive it, they don't get it. You have to actually cheat their skill, one of their skills down a level, and then have it go back up again, either through earning or through cheating it, and then they will receive it. There is a bug report for it, but I would think this is just going to be something that works its way out as, new toddlers are born, raised, or whatever, and get it. So, but just right now, you're going to have that little bit of an issue with respect to those toddlers that are in existence that have already met those requirements. So just in general, I'm going to let it run there, and I'm going to just talk about a few things. So DirectX 11 is still opt-in, but you should be able to Alt-Tab if playing in window mode. I could, and that was one of the things that was supposed to be fixed. Not actually considered hot, but maybe for some high school years players, you can now initiate the college party invite you need for the sneak out goal for one of the high school years aspirations. So there were a few things that were included in bugs, but seemed like they were kind of new to me, including you can't invite Patchy or the Flower Bunny on dates. You can, however, invite ghosts on dates now. You can now build residential rentals on penthouses, and there seem to be more for rent fixes than noted on the laundry list. But the save corruption issue that can be caused by residential rentals has not been fixed. And I was very happy to see this particular thing. We can now hold base game weddings even if you have My Wedding Stories. So that was something I was extremely happy to see. And just in general, like I said, there's a pretty big list. And some of like the social bunny icon now looks more social versus romantic with growing together where Sims are compatible. They've changed how that looks. And of course, they made a lot of fixes to create a sim with nails and whatnot. So, and some horse ranch things. A lot of stuff that was already on the laundry list, and it's running there or should have run there. And now we're actually going to move along to the mod impact. So as expected, a lot of mods broke, and some have already been updated. And the two sources I would normally recommend you go to are either Scarlett's List, which I'll link down below, and that's kind of what it looks like, or I tend to use Loose List over on EA Answer headquarters. So I'm going to show it here, and I'm just going to talk about a few things. Not everything has been cleared yet. It's still honestly too early, but some things have been updated with respect to mods, but this is what it looks like. So it has an index of all the various things, and you know, it depends on what you look. Or if you're on Discord, there are mod channels there where they just sort of roll it out as things are updating, which is honestly what I tend to look. But after the fact, I tend to go back to loose lists because it's a summary of it. But as things are like coming in, I tend to watch there. Now, so she'll have like what's broken and outdated, what's, you know, obsolete, and then you have this not a mods issue, and that's with respect to essentially the same one. The two things are, to me, the same issue. They're from that parenthood character values. There you have a big list of updated game mods and tools. You know, a lot of people use MC Command Center. It had a hotfix really early, so you should be using 2024.5.1 if you're having mods in your game. And then UI cheats and more columns in CAS also were updated, though that was later in the day. But if you use them, they've been updated. And then there's just this section which has your core mods, and it just tells you what the current version is. And MC Command Center is there because it is kind of a core mod that many people use. So they're there, and it doesn't mean necessarily whether they've been updated or not, just that they are the most, you know, they're the most recent version of those mods that everybody uses. I haven't seen any reports whether better exceptions or the mod guard broke, so I'm going to guess that they haven't broken. And then you have a list here of mods that were cleared for the patch. I never really talked about what was on the newly broken obsolete game mods. I'm just going to talk about a couple of them. So the custom aspirations seem to be broken if they aren't updated or cleared. So if you have a custom aspiration that's cleared, then it's not broken. But in general, if it's not being cleared, a lot of them seem to be broken. Turbo Driver's Wonderful Whims is broken, and Turbo Driver is on vacation, so that will take a little longer to get updated because he's not here to fix it. And I know a lot of people use the tool mod. It has issues with the start of planned calendar events. So here is the list again. So I'm not going to talk about this one in detail because, as I said, I just covered this in my tutorial video and also in my what's coming in this update video. But I just want to throw it up here as a reminder. If you're having issues with your game after the update and you perhaps didn't move your mods folder to your desktop, now is the time to do that. You can't rely on mods and custom content being automatically disabled because even though they are, they can still cause problems. And also this point here about your saves folder, you could have mod settings files there and you want those out also. And that deleting your local thumb cache file is always a good thing to do if you're having problems. I honestly tend to delete it every time I close my game, and when I open it, it just generates a new fresh file. Another point about if you do move your mods folder to your desktop, it will generate a new mods folder and a new resource file, and I always use a new resource file versus the old one, and I just move the updated mods or cleared mods into the newly generated mods folder. But that's just sort of a basic reminder. So I'd love to know whether or not you've already updated your game. If you have you experienced any of the issues? And also, what is your favorite thing from the update? I'd love to know in a comment down below. But that's going to be it for this video. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!